Banana and Bears Rugby Pod. She's back.
She's back. We're back. Jeez, I missed you. In fairness, I missed you now and all.
I know, me too.
You did, yeah. You did, yeah. While you were running around South Africa having the crack, it was like, yeah, jeez. I won't lie. There was a not green-eyed monster. That's wrong. No, there was a. Oh, Jesus. She's rugbying away without me there. I'm not into rugby about at all. And rugby became a verb in my head. It was like I just can't rugby with people around here to rugby. Why can't I rugby? And then I was off rugbying the bejesus out of it with the honey. I kept on calling them when anybody asked me the name. I kept on calling your team in South Africa the Caucasian Honeybadgers. But it's not. It's not from the Caucasus Mountains, but it is the local area. It is the Balkans.
Balkans.
I don't know. I was like, no, I don't. It's not Caucasian. I'm pretty sure
the Caucasian honeys.
I'm pretty sure that's not a prerequisite of getting on their team.
No, it isn't.
Not in this day and age, anyway. But
no, we'd be shite if we were.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you don't. But first and foremost, you normally have a story about how you almost lost a leg or something, but you went and you did the business. The Honeybadgers did the feckin' business. Tell me.
We did it back to back.
Back to back.
So when did we talk? I feel like I left about.
You were heading to South Africa. You were in the airport going to South Africa and you playing the piano.
Oh yeah, Charles de Bouge.
De Bouge, yes.
yeah. So yeah, got on the flight. What did I watch? The holiday.
Jeez, we're doing the full.
Sorry,
lads, we're doing the full. Doing the full 2 weeks here, so strap in.
No, I actually, do you know what? I didn't watch any Christmas movies till the way back.
Yeah, of course.
Because I wanted to leave my festive feelings until the way home so I could cheer myself up. But had a bit of chicken on the plane. Yeah. And you know what? I never take the free alcoholic drinks because, well, it depends what stage of kind of rugby or whatever I'm at, but I usually don't because I try to stay hydrated as possible, which is very, very athletic of me. But yeah. Anyway, so my friend Eve, my good friend from my Irish playing days and a good rugby friend of mine, Eve McDermott, I put her in touch with the management of the Honeybadgers and signed her up as well. So she was there. So it was great to see her because she moved to Australia a few months ago. So I haven't seen her since. So she came all the way from Sydney. We had other players from Oz, like current internationals as well, which was
that's amazing.
Both 7s and 15s. Australia, New Zealand, France. God, we had Swedish players. God, I should get a picture up so I could tick them all off as I go. But there's a good few of us. But that's the thing. Like I was explaining in the last podcast, you need a mix of players from all over to make up your teams, and all of the other franchises are the same.
But was there 4 teams if you went out? Is that what it is? 4, or is it?
Yes,
am I wrong?
Yes, it's 4, but there were actually some local teams involved as well.
Okay, right.
Yeah, so there was even more kind of opportunities to play matches.
Yeah.
So the Western Province were there, the Bulls were there. Yes. But I presume it's kind of maybe their academy players or players that aren't getting much game time because obviously they're kind of in the middle of their professional season now anyway. But and because Honeybadgers won the franchise last year. So I think it was explained that to you last time.
Yeah.
You rack up points across your women's division, men's division, under 18 boys and under 18 girls. And the Honeybadgers under 18 boys are very, very strong as well. So they won their division. The women won theirs. The men won one match, and the under 18 girls the same, very, just about enough. I think we won the franchise by 0.5 of a point last year.
I do love that though, is that 2 of the teams absolutely wiped the floor with people, and the other 2 teams are like, sheesh, I guess. I love it though.
Yeah, but it was just enough.
Yeah.
Which, in the end, is all you needed. Do you know, like you could
Yeah.
be just losing or winning, but actually like so we took the franchise trophy last year. So this year everyone was out to get the Honeybadgers. And it made me a bit scared, to be honest, but like, you know, well, we still had a very strong team. Now on the first day of we had 3 separate days of tournament, and on the first day we lost the other co-captain. Her name is PK. She
Oh
plays
yeah, your buddy PK.
yeah, she's from the Netherlands. She's unbelievable, like one of the best role players I've ever seen. And she was explaining that you can play, like girls from the Netherlands can play with the men right up until senior level, but in the third division. Like you can't, as a woman, you can't play in the second or first division, but you can play all the way up to senior level, third division, if you're a woman with the men, which is nuts, I think. But she'd be fucking good enough to play in the first division for the men in Netherlands. She's unbelievable.
Yeah, you want to be a
But
feral rock, not to go in against some of them
that's
animals. Like Jesus.
that's the thing, and that's how I felt. I think I was talking to you about that when I was living in Spain last year, and the girls can play with the boys up to under 18,
Mm.
but that means that it's only very, very strong girls who can play, you know, strong physically,
Yeah,
meaning that, you know, you exclude the other girls, which rugby is so inclusive in that nature, really. You don't have to be like strong as an ox to play rugby. So that's where there's a kind of a little bit of a problem there for you know, you need a women's team as
yeah.
well. But she broke her ribs on the first
Oh
day. It
man.
was in the second or third match. She broke 2 ribs. So that I was like, oh,
Were you looking at that going, fuck, fuck?
I was like, fuck. I told her, I was like, I know, no, I didn't tell her till the end, but I was like, I didn't think we'd be able to win it without you, and like, you know, meaning that in the nicest way possible as well. Like, you know, we're so strong with her, and then to have won it without her. So yeah, we lost our first game as well as the Honey Badgers women. We lost to the Serengeti Elephants.
Brilliant.
Um, yeah. And they had 2 former Honey Badger players from last year playing with them, 2 girls that
Judas.
play for Kenya, and they are unbelievable. Fucking hell, like just so strong and like such massive running threats. You can't give them an inch. Um, so we lost to them by like 1 point or something, and but we ended up fucking winning everything else then. And the men were considerably better than last year. The under 18 boys were outstanding again, and the under 18 girls were like literally thrown together last minute. So
Yeah.
they won a handful of games, but across the 3 days, we ended up winning the fucking franchise as well. And we had those mixed games where you flip the coin and either the men or the women play the first half and then the others take over in the second half. That was
Jesus.
great crack.
What a great tournament! Like, what
Yeah.
a great, because you have to
Yeah.
cheer along for your club
Oh,
mates, your franchise mates. Like, you
100%
have to.
invested, like, oh, fully invested. Like, we trained together, and, you know, Scrum Halves are like training together and doing like bits together, and the kickers and stuff like that. But the mixed games, like, I've never really experienced anything like that because I think it was the Elephants were playing in the first game, and like, this is how natural it becomes, you know, the Elephants, the
It's the
Wild
way
Dogs.
you're saying it, like, because it's the first time I've ever heard you refer to a
Yeah,
group of people as fucking these elephants we were
the
playing.
Elephants, yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's how it goes. Dude, the Elephants, I can't remember who it was in the first game, but we were playing first. Like, the girls started the game, and like we went 2 or 3 tries up, and we knew that the men's team was very strong. So we just wanted to give our men's team like the best platform. So, like, you know, usually after you've scored like 2 tries, you might kind of just bide your time. And,
Yeah,
you know, if you get a penalty, you won't take it quickly. You'll just like take a breather. And like we scored maybe our second or third try, and there was like 2 minutes on the clock, and we were like, go, we get another one, we'll get another one. Like, it was fucking hard out, like just making sure you came off the pitch like empty, because the other team needs that platform. And
it's
like, not
like a
like,
relay race, isn't it? You just have to get them that much ahead. Like,
yeah. And it's not like you don't want to give yourself the best platform for the second half, but you know that you're not playing the second half. So you know it's just 10 minutes flat
it,
out. We were like, go, go, go. It was fucking, we were buzzing. It was class.
Yeah, that sounds wild. I love that. I love the notion of rugby being like that. It's just that
Yeah,
that to me makes for great viewership. Like that makes great. Like you could hype the shit out of that. Like the
yeah,
names alone would get you into it. You're like honey badgers and elephants. I'm all over this. But
yeah, yeah, yeah.
you could actually put an NFL like vibe on it, nearly kind of going, this is supernatural. Like, and now
Yeah,
we have this absolute nitro round. Could you give it all mad names of 10 minutes of absolute nitro, empty the tank, like something you'd never get to do. You'd have to, you have to be pragmatic with your energy throughout an 80-minute match. Fuck that.
yeah,
10
yeah.
minutes, I got that. Yeah, give me an energy
It's
bar and let me go.
it's definitely, and that's one of the things for the tens. It's one of their key values, I suppose, or cornerstones is entertainment. Like they
Yeah.
want to make it entertaining. But the difficulty is like it's hard for people to connect with, like people don't know who the honey badgers are or
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
elephants. Like people, who've listened to us now, like actually Aoife Mack, who came over to play, she listened to the podcast and she said she learned a lot before coming to play in the tournament. And I'd be saying things to her like, "Oh, was it telling you this?" And she was like, "No, but I heard it on the podcast."
Brilliant. Oh,
Yeah,
great. Great.
yeah. So that's what it needs, just kind of teasing it out a little bit. It's hard for people to like really get invested when, but like imagine if GAA clubs had mixed games.
I like mind blow because like I love it. I love because sport has to evolve, it has to change, it has to get cooler all the
Mm,
time. And I'm not talking about taking away any of the values, but just making it wilder, more fun. Like
yeah,
that's edge of your underpants stuff. Going, what the fuck? What?
yeah,
No, no, go, go, go. Where you're just seeing people empty it. Like there's
yeah.
nothing more entertaining than watching a team
But
of people going, like, oh man,
yeah. And because you're so invested in it as well. It's not just a selfish thing, it's not for you.
yeah,
You're
yeah,
emptying
yeah.
the tank. Like if you were selfish, you'd be like, "Ah, fuck 'em, I'm tired enough now." Like it's really like, you can imagine what that would do for a community. Like imagine like, I don't know, fucking Mallow versus Ballincollig like in football.
It'd be
Or
unbelievable. Like,
hurling. First half football, second half hurling, third half camogie. Do you
I
know?
I love these hybrid setups. I love it.
Yeah.
It makes for such like, and as you said, and it is like a relay race, but you take serious pride if you're handing over the match, 10 points ahead,
Mhm.
going, get after
Mhm.
it, boys. You know what I mean? Like, and you'd
Yeah.
be charged up too. Or if you were left with a challenge 5 points down, you go, all right, hold my beer. I'm going to go after
Yeah.
this. Because you're doing it
Yeah.
for somebody else. It
The
really
Wild
does.
Dogs the Wild Dogs boys nearly overturned a halftime result. So actually it went that I think almost all the games, whoever was leading at halftime were able to finish it out. So that's obviously something to look at, like in terms of how is that always going to be the way, or how do you kind of manage that? But like there was almost like a really exciting turnaround in one of the games, like, and you'd be feeling so bad if you lost a lead, or
Yeah, yeah,
you'd
yeah,
be
yeah.
feeling unbelievable if you were able to like claw it back or whatever. It's actually, yeah, it was great crack, and most people really enjoyed it because again, I was saying that to you when your one came up with the idea. It was all rugby people she asked and talked to, and they were like, "No, this is a terrible idea." Like, that's the comfortable answer.
Yeah,
It's just easier to say, "Oh, no, I don't know."
different,
But
isn't it?
everyone fucking enjoyed it. Like everyone was really enjoyable.
Yeah, I can't see a downside to it at all. And I've said it to a couple of rugby players, current, lads who are playing now, they were like who are playing junior club stuff, going, that sounds amazing. Real club guys like who love their club.
Mm.
And I go,
Yeah.
yeah, bring on the girls, the boys, the women's, and we all roaring for each. Like that sounds class. And I was explaining like I forgot to mention the mixed game thing. I think that'll blow one particular lad from Kilfeacle I was telling, and I think that'll blow his mind. I think he was taking it back because his mother's the club secretary. I think he was taking it back to see could it be a thing they do, just one day, a blitz,
Yeah, like
just
a
one day.
charity thing.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And
Why
a
wouldn't
franchise effort. Yeah.
a franchise effort? Like
Yeah.
you said it there, like Kilfeacle against, or Kilfeacle against Clanwilliam, Mallow against, I don't know,
Yeah.
like Cove. How
Yeah.
like blow your mind. Like everybody
Unbelievable.
would be up for that.
The
You get
whole town would be
the
out.
whole
Yeah.
town because it's such a new thing, and it's like, what is it? Oh, are girls playing against boy? What? No, you wait and
Yeah.
you see what happens. I love it. I love the idea of that because that's more than anything what rugby is actually about, is inclusivity, and it's
Yeah.
actually including people in a game setup.
And it means as well that, imagine if it could work either way, but imagine, your men's team went out and it's a strong rugby or GA, it doesn't matter the sport, but rugby is kind of guilty of this because it's been such a man's space for so long. But like, you've got a really strong men's section. And then the women's section, probably someone volunteered for a while because their daughter was playing, and then it folded, and then it amalgamated, and then it's kind of only half there, and they're cancelling matches. And like, imagine if this became a thing, how much more seriously they would take it if it came to, like, your franchise on the line, like the name of your actual club on the line, like what,
Well, I mean,
and that.
it
Mm,
would draw a serious spotlight because it in itself is a story. The local newspaper would want in on it. The local, you know what I mean? Everybody, you couldn't not look at it and go, Jesus Christ, that does sound good, actually. You know what I mean? Or even if you were a fuddy duddy going, this sounds terrible, we should still cover it though. You know what I mean? Like you go, because it's such a freak of a thing.
yeah,
Let's look at it. Let's see what this
yeah,
hybrid is,
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
Need to put it to more people. Need to chat to people a bit more about it and put it out there.
Even if all you got was, like, how is it the Calcutta Cup is just England and Scotland. If you had
Yeah,
the Anacaplis Cup, do you know what I mean? Like if you had the fucking John
yeah,
Deere Cup, whoever wanted to sponsor it, even. Do you know what I mean? Just
yeah,
sponsor a cup.
yeah,
I go, all right, and there's 1,000 quid that goes to the club that wins it.
yeah,
You know what I mean? All
yeah.
written off for tax by any company that wants to do it. Like I think it's a great
Unreal.
idea. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Fucking yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. If anyone needs any more information on it, they know where to find us.
Well, they literally have the two-time back-to-back championship back rower here. What's the setup? What number was on your back?
um so all their kit had to be brought in from the States, so they only had a set of jumpers or a set of jerseys, like limited sizing. So I was supposed to be number one, because my name was first on the sheet, probably because it's alphabetic. But
Yeah, A and C.
um,
Yeah, yeah.
but anyway, I went down to put on number one. And I was like, lads, we two managers, like for two local fellas who were the liaison officers. Our fellow was Patrick. Oh Jesus, he was great. He was great, but he'd be driving us mad. Like, bring down your laundry quick, and we'd have to fucking run down the stairs with our laundry. But he I was like, Patrick, have you any? He was South African, like we were calling him Paddy. Like, Paddy, do you have anything smaller than a large? And he was like, no, because there was large, extra large, and large, because it's number one. So it's obviously they thought it was going to be a props jersey, but my name was first on the list and I was number one. So the fucking jersey was hanging off me, and he was like, no, it's grand. Next thing, the fella in charge of Paddy, who I know as well, comes running in. You can't have the players looking like this. Look at the state of her.
Look at the state of her.
I was standing there with the fucking jersey hanging off me.
Stephen
So
Kitchoff's fucking jersey, like.
by the time it came to me resolving a jersey, all the other jerseys had been selected. So I got number 17.
Ah, Jesus.
But it actually doesn't, like, it doesn't fucking matter. Like,
No, no, no. So what? But why I was asking what number? What was your position? Like, were you back
uh,
rower, like, or were
yes,
you?
no, I played hooker. I played
Okay,
hooker.
right.
Yeah. Because there's no back row.
Yes,
It's
that's yeah.
yes, the front row and two second rows, and you just belt the ball out and tear away. But like, our scrum was under pressure because we'd not many actual front rowers or scrummagers, so we just had to be tactical about that. Like, and we had a good line out, so we'd go for the line or tap and go quickly to try and avoid the scrum if we were against like a scrum with good players, like
Fucking
good
elephants. I don't want to
actual
fucking scrum
front row.
against the elephants.
Yeah, fucking them or who was. Yeah, it was the elephants actually that were killing us in the scrum. So you laugh every time I say it. It's
I
like
can't picture anything but fucking elephants playing against you
stomping
in
around the pit.
jerseys.
Yeah,
Your jerseys,
yeah,
by the way, I love your kit. It was cool. It was cool. But I
yeah.
suppose it was happy. It was good. It was easy to look at your kit because you were all so happy. You all look so happy following your Instagram. Like, it's like this looks
Yes.
like the best
And you know
fucking thing
what?
ever.
You say that. We all looked so happy. Like genuinely, the thing with the honey badgers is, and why it means so much to me to win, because I do feel like a lot of people are like, why would she care so much about just this kind of invitational tournament, like for the crack? Like honestly,
Mm.
it means so much to me because, and last year and this year, the same thing happened. I feel like I touched on this when we spoke the last time, but the and I spoke to a lot of the players about this as well. Like a lot of people, and like we had a lot of players that have come from high performance environments that are high pressure. You kind of have to stifle who you are sometimes, depending on the environment. But trust me, that happens a lot. You can't really fully be yourself in a high performance environment a lot of the time.
Yeah.
So the thing with the honey badgers is like the coaches allow us to be ourselves, number one, to have a good time, number two, and like to enjoy the experience and like have a laugh and you know just fucking have the crack, essentially, is just the easiest way to put it. That means then that when you train and when you play, you have to fucking deliver because you want to prove that that formula works.
Yes, that dicking about, like it's not that you've been dicking about, you just have been having a good time, like.
So, and people would say like back it up, but genuinely, to be like, I remember last year, like we trained the least out of all the teams. Definitely. Like we were away, like, visiting a wine farm when the rest of them were in the gym, you know, things like that. Now, that was last year. A lot of teams did it the Honey Badgers way this year and trained less and bonded more.
Yes.
The bonding is so important, and being happy is so important. And like, I kind of, because that means a lot to me. Like I kind of at one stage of the day, I kind of felt like I just kind of pulled both squads together, like the men, the women, and I was like, look, we're not here for a long time. Like, make sure, because I felt like a lot of people kind of going off in their clicks, like, which is
Yeah.
normal at
Yeah,
the
yeah.
beginning of an experience like this. And I was like, make sure like you open your heart and you like open up to each other and you embrace this, because like next week this will just be a memory and we won't be here. So like make the most of it. I promise you, this is the most fun you'll have playing rugby, and just, be really open to it. And I kind of felt like a few of the lads especially were like,
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
because they come from high performance environments, and they're like, because they've achieved a lot, in sevens and 15s and stuff. But on the last night, three of them separately like spoke to me, like, after a few drinks, and they were like that. One of them told me like he was almost crying when I said that, and another one said like what you said about, being unapologetically yourself. I was never able to do that when I played for said country, and it meant, you're so right, and I wish that I could, and blah blah. And a few others like said, various things that along the same lines to me. So like after I'd made that speech, I felt a little bit like, oh God, did I just,
Was
you'd
it?
be down on yourself. But in the
Yeah,
in
yeah,
the
yeah.
in the end, they said, like that it meant a lot to them and it was important, and thanks for saying it and stuff. So but it's true, and it's like what we spoke about with Andy Farrell, and
Yeah.
the magic formula of, and get thrown out the fitness testing and just fucking bonding and just fucking getting along. And it was so close to working. What was it like? What did we lose that game by in the end? Like it was so close to being the right
We lost by
way
two
of doing it.
forward passes from the All Blacks, but you look at that, that's just nitpicking.
Yeah,
Like, you know what I mean? But
yeah.
but you're
But
right.
that's how
Like,
close it was to working and just having. I want people to see that that's how rugby can be, and that's how it should be in sport in general.
but sport and even not to get not to put on our corporate hat, but I mean, if you had a company, it's the exact same
100%.
thing. You might,
100%.
whether you have the best in the business working for you, but if they're all bonded together and enjoy each other's company, the product, whatever it is, whether it's a virtual product or an actual fucking chair you're building, it'll be a
Yeah.
better chair because the vibe, you know what I mean? The vibes are good
Yeah.
throughout. Like I talked about, I know I talked about it before, the guy who has hairy baby t-shirts down in Cork.
Oh yeah.
Like we did a podcast down at his place, Dara, and he walked me around there before. Like his staff stay on extra. Like he just gives, he says, well, here's the task. Here's what we have. Here's our orders.
Mm.
Lads, I'm not putting you in. This is what it is. But he
Mm.
has like PS5s in there, table tennis tables, arcade machines. Oh,
Yes.
hammock. You do you and have a great time. We just need to get this done. And there's lads coming in after hour. You know what I mean? They're staying on. They just love the environment because like and it's a cool brand because the vibe is good throughout. Like,
It sounds like Budgie Smuggler.
Yeah,
Do you follow
yeah.
Budgie Smuggler?
I
Yeah.
do. I do now. And the vibe seems to
Here.
be,
Yeah. Does Harry Baby share their kind of staff content like that? Because honestly, I fucking love that about Budgie Smuggler.
I don't know if they do. I don't know. I
You
don't
should
think,
tell your friend, tell him to follow Budgie Smuggler, and like honestly, I'd be more because I love Harry Baby. Like honestly, some evenings if I'm just looking for a bit of a laugh, I'll go on and look at their mugs.
yeah,
Do you know?
yeah,
And they're
yeah,
like
yeah.
so like definitely tell him to follow Budgie Smuggler and get him to share what they get up to in the office because I'd love that.
I
Everyone loves
think
that.
I think it's kind of well, I'm guessing they have a social media person to a degree, but I think it was kind of product first and then we'll just look after us, which
Yeah.
is admirable in its own right. Like, but
Oh, absolutely.
it was inspirational for me to see it that day. It was like, aha. So because work environments I'd ever worked under, more or less was just keep a foot in the back of his fucking neck and grind them into the ground until they have nothing left to give you. And
Yep.
then you can pay him. It's like, Jesus Christ,
Yep.
this sounds like some Machiavellian shit,
I think it doesn't work like that, or it doesn't. I don't know. Is it because like bad people keep making it to the top?
Yes, that's all it is. If you have a confident, capable person at the top, and by confident I don't mean cocky, confident in the fact that they can let go of the bossy kind of nature and go, hey,
Mm.
no, we can be cool.
Trust.
Trust. She'll get the job done, won't you? Or you won't. Well, if
And
you don't want to do,
also,
there's the
yeah,
door,
and also it
but
works if there's enough respect for like
yeah,
the coach or the job as well. So how do you foster that as well? Then, like from the get go, it's tricky, but it's also much better like way of doing things than being an arsehole and losing staff or being an arsehole and like pushing your players so far that they hate it and they're unhappy and they're afraid to laugh and afraid to be themselves. And so, yeah.
yeah. But this is,
Anyway,
but
that's
yeah,
loads about the tens now. I don't want to talk the whole time about the tens. What have you been up to? How's the gigging?
touring has been great. I've done a couple of shows since I saw you last. I was in Limerick in UCH in the concert hall. I was in Tipperary. Where else was I? I can't think. My brain. But I was back and I did Cask again the other night with Barry Murphy's club, but Barry was away. He was down at the Sevens
I
with
know.
Trimble and whatchamacallit and
Puddles.
Foggy.
I know. I'd fucking FOMO because the
You had
whole world
FOMO.
was here. What?
You had FOMO after winning a tournament in South Africa. You're like,
Yeah, because
you just want it all.
loads of people from the tens went to Dubai, and
Right, right.
I swear to God, I was so miserable when I came back to Paris, and it was fucking pouring rain against the window, and I was tearing out. It was grim, honestly. I actually text Donica Ryan, and I was like, please meet me for a coffee. I'm so depressed. Which he did, to be fair, is very sound. But I was so depressed after the fucking thing. And then everyone, including Barry Murphy, was at the fucking sevens in in Dubai.
When
Do you know what? Next year we'll go to the sevens in Dubai.
Oh God, I'd love to. God, I was only looking at it and I was saying it to Natasha. I was like, God, that does look like it. Just knowing what I know of it, even through you It's like that would be fucking epic. Like just,
It is
but
just it's like
not everybody
Disneyland.
was there. Not everybody was there because at Cask the other night we had the one and only Paul O'Connell again with
Mm-hmm.
Stephen Keogh. There
Mm-hmm.
was Ian Keatley, Cathal Sheridan, Tommy O'Donnell, a few more Munster heads and Shannon heads throughout.
All the pasty ones who didn't get out to the desert.
No, but what was hilarious, like you're just looking down at like it's a small club, it's a small area, so it's a kind of a dance
Mm-hmm.
floor pit. If anybody has ever been to the lodge, which used to be the lodge in the Kilmurray Lodge before,
Yeah.
and then there's the high
Didn't
bits
find
around.
my phone, did you?
I found a duffel coat with your name on it, all right. Um,
Yeah, it's fine.
still has the ticket, but the so there's only like two in the center bit. There's only 10 chairs across the front, but it's in
Yeah.
two pods of five, and all one side was the biggest fucking humans you've ever seen. Like it was Kyo and Paul O'Connell and these couple other lads. There was one lad I was chatting to him afterwards, and he was such a giant and gentle person as he spoke. I think it was like a Welsh accent, but he looked like he could have been in the X-Men. He was that large of a human, like just a big burly front row. But we're talking like 6'4", like a meter and a half wide shoulders, like the biggest, like. And I was chatting to him afterwards, and I said, "Did you play a bit of rugby yourself?" Tongue in cheek, and he was like, I did," but he said it like I was only asking a random question. Like, have
Yeah,
you
yeah,
ever been
yeah.
to Disneyland? Like, he could, if he said he didn't play rugby, you'd fall down, your legs would give away. You go, you didn't play rugby.
It's like, what are you
How do you
doing? You
exist?
need to start again.
But it was a lot of fun. I gave some good shit to all the big fellas. And they loved it. They fucking loved it because it's like, oh, nobody gives us this kind of grief. This is great, and this is in a controlled environment, and he's got the microphone. Great, that's fine. But it was yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun, and we had I'd
Really.
my it been yeah, I'd my own show at my own club, and we are going to film the special there on the 27th. So we're bringing in 4K cameras, bunch of lighting specialists. We're going to shoot it like it's been on is a Netflix special. Essentially,
Can
was
I
what we're going.
come?
Yes, of course you can come.
Great, I'll be home.
You'll be home on the 27th of January.
Oh no, December.
Well, this December on the 29th, we do have one of the best comedians in the country, which is John Cleary, and you could totally come to that. Um,
Great. In
he's
tip.
yeah. But there's no distance from you. Like Care from Mitchelstown is like 15 minutes.
29th of December.
December. Yes. It's that odd bit. As somebody described it to me, the taint. It's an awful fucking description. The taint of Christmas, which is the taint being that bit between your ass and your genitalia. It's like nobody knows what it is. It's called
The gooch.
the gooch, but it was known as the taint because taint my ass and taint my balls. So it was it's
What
just
the
rough.
hell? I thought what you were calling it. What's that? What's the bit of what's the bit of the wine called that you don't want to finish?
I think
Do you
that's
know?
the taint. I think that is it
Is
tainted
it?
wine? I think it is
Seems
tainted wine.
similar.
Is it tainted wine? That's great if that is the case. That's
I
great.
was like, wow, what a great analogy. And then I wouldn't have called it the gooch.
No, but it was a decent. I got what he was on about, and it was a decent analogy. But it seems to be the one where, um, yeah, people we put it on last year because a lot of comedy clubs would shut around that time because they're like, people have loads of other things to be doing. I'm like, maybe they do, maybe they don't, but we've got a top end comedy club now, so let's see what it is.
Unreal.
And
Yes, I'll be there.
yeah, brilliant, brilliant. And Caleri is you he's finally getting his dues because he did a tour with Tommy Tiernan, and he's been doing this 25 years. And as somebody said, I did a radio interview just before this, and the same woman said it was like watching two high end standard or headliners with Tiernan and him. That's how good he is. Is that it was a brave move even by having Tiernan bringing him on because this guy could steal the show. That's how good he is. Like, yeah,
Jesus.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Jesus,
Um,
fair play.
but yeah, great. 29th, you'll be there. So as rugby goes, I wanted to go to I wanted to go to more matches, but I can't. It's just crazy season for gigs. I planned on going to the
Mm.
Leinster-Munster match. Yeah, that went out the fucking window.
Is that the 26th again, as usual?
Yes, it's coming back again. Yeah. So,
Mm.
yeah, might get to if I could get it. Tickets are still available. I haven't even looked, because everything else
I
has been a
never go to
write-off.
that. It's always the biggest night out in Mallow, so I'm never in Limerick for that
Of
that night.
course, yeah, sure. It's St. Stephen's Day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Like to watch it
Boxing.
on the telly box and then go out.
Exactly, Boxing Day for our British friends. Um, but no, and I'm only actually, it's brutal. I'm actually catching games secondhand now, like where it's like you come
Mm.
home after a gig and it's like, all right, I'll watch it on TG Car or so, and
Oh yeah.
the replay because it's just gone with shows,
Yeah.
whether it's corporate or my own show. But
Oh
you
yeah.
had, oh, and who are you playing? Are you La Rochelle? Are you playing this weekend as well as the men's team?
Yes. We usually play on Sundays, which would be the same day as the lads, but
Yeah.
we're we're going to Tour, which is where the Irish team was
Yes.
based.
Yeah.
We have a game there, and we're playing it on Saturday evening, which is good because we'll get it out of the way, but also I'd say we'll be back too late. Like it actually I'm looking forward to the weekend because I feel like it's gonna be a little bit like what the World Cup was like with the Irish in town. Um, but like I won't be able to go out Friday night. Saturday night I'll be back late. Sunday's the day of the match, and then I'm working Monday morning, so I won't really be able to like kind of enjoy the weekend like fully. But we'll see Saturday night what time we get back. I might head into McNulty's for an old pint and
Are
see is
you
there
are
anyone
you
interesting
are
there.
you playing tour or who are you playing?
Yeah, yeah. They're
Right.
Jouet. Jouet, I think they're called. Yeah, and they're in tour. Yeah.
Jouet,
So
isn't that what they kind of call like flair? Isn't that
yes,
like
but it's Joue fada
sure.
or E whatever, E accent. Uh and not jouer, which is Jouer, which is the verb. So I feel like French people don't even realize it's the same word, when that happens.
Okay, yeah.
Or
Like
maybe
there's
they do in the club, but I was kind of like, jouer, haha. And they were like, yeah, we're playing jouer. And I was like, oh, okay.
yeah, but it'd be like us just going, well, there's a crack in that paint, or there's a crack in that plate. A crack? Are we having the crack? You'd be like, no, there's an actual crack in it. No.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
exactly. That's exactly what it's like. Yeah.
So
Yeah, unless someone made a very intentional pun, like,
some
like,
crack in that plate.
way. But I actually went to a top 14 game last weekend as well, which Rochelet won quite convincingly. It was great crack. I'm loving the top 14.
That's class.
Um, yeah,
They were
I
playing
ac-
in the pissons of snow last week. It was like, oh, geez, that looked burr. Like, you don't want to be a
oh,
winger in
yeah.
that weather.
Jesus Christ, no. I had a story to tell you. Oh, fuck it.
You told me the other day you had a story to tell me and all. What is the story to tell me?
Did I?
Yeah, you
Shit, hang
did. And
on.
it sounded, the way you said it was like, oh, Jesus, Tom. You had a story to tell you. No?
Um,
Asher, it might come to you yet.
There was this was one of them. I'm not sure if this was the actual story I wanted to tell you, but um, when the team started winning, like and French fans are very like like
Oh,
and
they are, yeah.
especially they've been spoiled in La Rochelle now with how good La Rochelle have been the last couple of seasons. So they don't take losing easy, or and La Rochelle have lost the last fucking few handful of games. So um they enjoyed last week then, they because they started to win and pull away with it comfortably in second half. But like they were like, I don't know if this is something that happens all the time or if this just happened last week, but they're like their fucking chants are class. Like all the whole game, like different La Rochelle, and like it will change, and then there's another one, and like they have the drummers, and you know t- ici c'est La Rochelle, and all the kids are trying to get it started, and like it's just so cool. And then whenever someone's coming off the pitch, they chant their name. So
Oh,
they were like,
brilliant.
yeah, so like Uini Antonio, which I've
Yeah.
worked out now, everyone calls him Winnie,
Yeah.
which obviously that's how it's spelled. I always say Uini, but it's Winnie. And they were like, Winnie, Winnie, Winnie. And he was like waving to everyone. And then they were like, Ogara, 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 Ogara.
Oh
And the
man.
whole day. And then they showed him on the screen and he's like, you know, his
Big
like,
serious.
and they were all like, yes, when he appeared in the screen and he started laughing, which was very cute, to be fair. But I feel like there was, I didn't know their fucking story to tell you now.
I
Of
do
course, it'll
love
come out.
I do love when they go, oh, how would we tempt Raj home? You're like, why would you go anywhere in his position? Like you weigh
Mm,
it up, it would only be ego or a graw that would make you want to do something different. You're
mm,
basically the fucking Chicago Bulls right now. Do you know what I mean?
mm,
You've mowed down the last two. They
yeah,
love you. It's a lovely part of the world to be in. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
They must love him because they did nothing before him. Like, you know what I mean? So it
mm,
must be, I don't know what would draw you away from it. Like it'd be Jesus Christ. But
yeah,
I saw a funny interview with him. It wasn't meant to be funny at all, but it was so candid and honest. It was with Jim Hamilton. He was asking, where do you stand with? He was asking about, would you ever give Johnny Sexton a message? He goes, well, to be honest with you, I don't think we're on good ground at the minute now. Since, do you know, he didn't have to say that at all. It was like, Jesus, that's
that, yeah,
very candid of you there to just say, like, he could go, I don't know, I'd leave him to himself. But he didn't. He went, no, I don't think we're on good ground since the final, to be honest with you, to carry on to Johnny. He said, but, it is what it is. Like, maybe we
yeah,
will one day.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I feel like I don't know if it's the same interview, but I did hear something like that along those lines. But like, yeah, it's just so bizarre to get an honest answer, in the media because like really most people will be like, ah, sure, we'll see, or
Yeah,
who
yeah.
knows?
But I think
Yeah,
he's all in. Do you know what I mean? He doesn't butter anything up. He's all in.
mhm,
So it's all in
yeah,
honesty. So it's kind of the Ronan of O'Gara is just the dream interview because you're like, this is going to be gravy regardless.
mm,
Have you been keeping an eye on any of the provinces? Oh, you probably haven't, I'd say, have you?
not really, just the results. So I
There's a
heard Mac Hansen was on fire last week,
oh Lord. Oh,
and,
he was doing like
just
he
saw the end of the match. Like fuck it, Leinster.
I know, but that Quaylen Blade was fuck acting around it. I mean, a fella's at the game long enough, he should have known to get that ball shifted out, like, but yeah, but I mean, yeah, Mac Hansen looked like a fella who'd been, and I think apparently he was just on the piss. Like, he's what that's what
Hello.
yeah, yeah, happy. He's happy, and he's just playing in the zone, in the comfort zone, where he's like, yeah, this is where I'm meant to be, man. Do you
Yeah.
know? But um, yeah, there's a couple of shining lights coming through at Munster at the minute that you're going like, there's nobody now
No.
competing with Jack Crowley. There's nobody.
Yeah.
He has accepted the mantle that he is going to be the man to take
Fuck.
the yeah, like you can see it. It's like, oh Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Like in their match, I think Munster probably came away the happier out of it because Munster played better rugby. Had a bunch of new kids, new guys, like starting Thomas Ahern at 6'9" at number 6. He caught a crossfield kick the other night. A crossfield shirt, nobody could compete with him because you just
Yeah.
put up this giant ball in the air. Used to be a
Yeah.
fullback. And it's like, okay, come at me, bro.
Yeah.
And he's put on a bit of meat now as well. So when he landed down, your man just bounced off him. But
Yeah.
it was an unbelievable threat. It's like, yeah, put your 6'9" guy out in the wing and just kick the ball to him. Nobody else can even try. Like he's an
Yeah.
an NBA sized player. Like very, very interesting to see. And the way they're playing at the minute, the way Munster are playing at the minute is, I mean,
Fuck.
their maul defense was the only thing that left Glasgow back in. Other than that, it would have been an absolute spanking. Like it would have been the way Bernard Jackman did a great. He's great for his clips on Twitter, and it was how they're clearing out players off. They're clearing the tackler, so the tackler doesn't even get get to slow it down in any way. They're clearing the tackler, and any player even dreaming of coming near it, they're getting blown out of it. And sure, Casey is coming in, 4 foot off the ground, and just it's gone before it even, and their ball presentation. Actually, oh yeah, Craig Casey. Yeah, people get fair cheeky. Like, I mean, he's a pro athlete, but Aldi put
Mm.
up a picture from the Late Late Show, and it was Bundy Aki and Peter O'Mahony. This kid was there on the Late Late Show as they are, and he was singing Ireland's Call very well, but he was a kid,
Oh yeah.
and they snuck up behind him, and the kid was nearly melted. Like, and they
Uh,
asked him, goes, how are you feeling? He was like, this is the greatest day of my life. But Aldi, Ireland put up going, here's Peter Bundy and Craig Casey on the Late Late Show. And it got a load of likes, of course, and Craig Casey jumped on it and went, "Yeah, I always preferred shopping at Lidl, to be honest with you." And it was like, it's a microphone drop memes after. It was like, do you know that one where it's all the lads just going, "Oh," jumping back? That
Yeah,
was
the
a,
guy that.
yeah, it was just, yeah, it was beautiful. It was like, yeah, perfect,
Oh my God,
perfect,
I
perfect.
completely missed that. Jesus.
Yeah, it was. No, I mean, thankfully, I think Twitter knows that I'm not. I'm frightened of Twitter, and I don't want all the sadness. So, but at least when I open it now, I mostly don't see sadness. I just see rugby, and people
Mm,
putting up fun things about rugby or informative things, and then I dip back out of it again. I go, "That's all I need now. Look, see you in a week."
yeah, yeah,
Um, because if I
you're
stay
dead
too
right.
long, terrible things will show up. But that was one of the first things, and of course, it was a great, it was just a simple handful of words, didn't mince them, just went, yeah, always for shopping at Little, to be honest with you. And no reply from Aldi. It's like, yeah, you got us. You
That's
got us.
hilarious. Aldi are obviously trying to play the whole do the kind of Ryanair
Oh,
style.
for sure. For sure.
Yeah,
Like,
everyone is now because fucking Ryanair did such a good job at it.
yeah, Ryanair crushed it for years. Like, they were just,
Yeah.
there's somebody put up a great couple of clips or just snapshots of replies from Ryanair. But the first ones actually, I think the first time I remember reading, and it wasn't out to the public, but it was Qantas who had, I think they have the best in the world. I think they're the best at the time anyway, as an international airport or airline. They did best for non-delays, accidents, and everything. They would clean as could be, but
Right.
they'd write cabin crew would write, things they think the engineers need to see while the plane is down for a look,
Oh
but they
yeah.
would write it in the most non-technical term. Of course, the engineers couldn't help but reply back like, and they go, "Squeak coming from cabin." That's what they'd leave. And you're supposed, what the fuck do I do? What does an engineer or mechanic do with that? So they would write underneath it, yeah, cat installed to catch said mouse. Stuff like plane is,
Excellent.
and somebody wrote, like one pilot wrote, "Plane is flying a bit funny. We've had a word with the plane and told to straighten up their act." Not be, it's fucking
Yeah.
brilliant. So the same thing like applied with the likes of, I think I wonder would have some of their English rugby teams. I've seen a couple of them put up funny ones like,
The rugby, like the actual rugby team.
yeah, well,
The
the official one sometimes, like Harlequins, have put up a
yeah.
couple of funny ones or whatever, but like the Munster one, of course, and the Leinster ones are just exactly factual. Okay,
Yeah, yeah,
okay,
yeah, yeah,
all
yeah.
right, lads, you could just let us in a little bit, like.
Yeah, I know, yeah. It's hard to get right.
Oh
Hard to get
God, I
right.
mean, if you didn't have a supremely witty person in charge,
Mm,
then it could go off the rails very quickly
mm,
because there's nobody wittier than a bunch of fucking trolls, like.
yeah, fuck yeah, Jesus, you should be on. Yeah, well, Ryanair don't give a fuck, but that's their nature as well,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah. They're not trying to be the Rolls Royce, like, yeah, yeah.
and they know it, and they're like, duh. I want to say something else there now. Who's playing this weekend?
Munster have Bayonne this weekend.
Oh, sure, it's a Heineken Cup. I'm going to the game on Sunday.
The Leinster match, yeah.
Leinster and
What
Saltbush.
an opener for the Jesus ding dong. I know Munster had Bayonne and people are like, why are Munster getting? It's like, because they won the domestic championship last year. Of course they're going to get the soft ones. Do you know what I mean? Albeit there is the famous Bayonne Ireland match from, was it 2003 pre World Cup, where
Yeah,
they bet the living shit out of him. But
yeah.
did you hear Ollie Jaeger is after joining Munster?
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, fucking tackled everything that moved. Came on, and he knows the Irish team are watching him. Obviously, like, went
Yeah,
out and fucking hit everything that moved. Like, I mean, there was nothing. This guy was just milling people, milling everything that he could get his hands on.
unreal.
Rock solid
Fuck,
scrum as well. Like, he'll be scuttled straight into the Six Nations squad.
fucking yeah. I need to make sure I've kind of got my times right now for this weekend to line up all the matches because fucking Heineken Cup, man, I can't believe it's back.
I know,
This
I know.
will get rid of my World Cup blues. I still have a little bit, I think.
I'm not still fully over it, to be honest, but I've been watching. I've been watching the Ireland team, the provinces, and they haven't missed a beat. Like only really Ulster are underperforming a little bit. It's like they should be bigger and faster and better. Even though, I mean, I've got a couple of young players, like they have a kid from Kilfeacle, um, Jake Flannery's his name, and he seems to have come through.
Mm.
He's gone right up there, and he couldn't. Munster released him, do you know. Um,
Mm.
Ben Healy looks unfucking believable, of course, in Edinburgh. Looks unbelievable, like pulling all sorts of strings, like, of course.
Jesus.
But
Yeah, fuck's sake. I'm still
but
not over that either.
I know, I know. The only thing is, Jack Crowley looks to
Yeah.
the manner born. I mean, he was Jacqueline like a number 7. Like,
Mm.
if you saw your number 10 doing that, you go, get out to fuck, will you?
Mm.
But no, he's crushing people. He's going around milling everybody.
Unreal.
And seems to just have, well, he's getting speed of pass too from Casey, but he seems to have
Well,
the
fucking yeah, that's it. Like that's how it works.
yeah, yeah. And they're clearing, like, the big thing is they're clearing so fast at the row, just clearing it, and then the ball presentation is immaculate. So of course
Mm.
Casey just gets it on a dinner plate for him. It's like gone, gone. You couldn't keep up with it, like. So
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see come the Six Nations what way the squads line out and stuff like that. But yeah,
Yeah.
start of the
There's still a good bit to go.
no
Well,
I
there isn't. There isn't really. Even though it always starts with kind of a bigger squad. Do you know when they name the squad
yeah
and that'll it's a long old process, before they go before the first game. February.
yeah it is because we were in, like, when
Ireland
does
in
it,
Paris.
yeah
First Friday night. Yeah.
yeah, and what date is that? Is that
Second, I think.
the
Second of
second
Feb.
of, yeah, because it was because my new second best friend after you in rugby, Paul O'Connell, as well. Yeah, he'd be second, and then no, he'd be second maybe, and then Keith Earls would be third. They don't know
What
that,
about
like,
Barry?
what?
What about Barry?
Yeah, I mean, he's a singer now. He's a singer. You know what I mean? He sings
Okay, so
songs.
he comes under your entertainment friends.
Yeah, yeah, oh, definitely, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But technically, actually, out of rugby friends, you're the only one playing rugby.
Oh yeah,
you
okay.
know,
I
uh,
played like shite last weekend, by the way. I was wrecked. I was just like
who did you play last weekend?
we played a team from Toulon, so not the Toulon team, but a club from Toulon and sorry, not Toulon. Toulouse.
I love.
Toulon or Toulouse?
You're
I don't
like,
know. All I
ah,
know is that they had a 14-hour bus journey home.
oh Jesus,
Um,
Jesus.
so we have to do that next year. I was asking, I was like, when is it? And I was like, I think I'm going to be sick that week.
Pull a hammy the fucking week before that one. You're
Fucking
joking me.
fact.
But
Yeah.
the Jesus, 14 fucking hours. And what? Why?
Yeah.
How did you play shite? Were you just not plugged into the game at all, or what? Like,
Yeah, because it's very scripted. Usually like if I was tired and I had come back to training and I was tired all week, so I felt like I trained like a bag of shite during the week. And then we'd a really long wait before the game, and I just felt like, oh my God, I just didn't get myself up for it. Like personal thing as well, definitely. But also it's so scripted that usually if you're just at least one thing you can always do is just put your head down and go forward.
yeah,
But that's kind of not on the menu. Like it's just there's always a way to play and a direction to go. And like I was thinking about that way too much and just but also we were ourselves like as a team just like firing offloads that weren't on and crazy things like that. So but yeah, it like I'm looking forward to kind of just playing a bit better now this weekend because I just want to brush that one under the carpet. It was still grand, like still got on the ball a little bit, which is hard to do because of like literally they keep having to tell me with this style that we play like and playing as number 8, the number 8 literally just runs away from everything to be available as like an option for
yeah,
when the ball actually gets there, but the fucking ball doesn't get there, you see. So I literally wanted to say to him the last, I was like, why the fuck did you bring me here? Like I have literally no job
yeah.
because my job turns up in the 4th or 5th phase, which just does not happen. So yeah. Anyway.
Tell me just
We'll see
one.
how that
Just let me play the second half in 7. Just let me in at 7 for the second half. I don't want this fucking running around out with the
I
back
actually
shite.
switched into 7 last night and at training. and I actually ended up doing the wrong thing because I thought that I was allowed to run off 10 and I wasn't. So I ended up running off 10 and they were like, breaking the line, no bother. Do you know, like, you think they might be like, okay, sure, go in there whenever you want. No, it was the wrong thing to do, even though I broke the line. Anyway, sure, this is,
It's
I
French
don't know,
rugby.
I'll figure it out. It's hard because I was away and I was back. Like, I've only played 2 games now, so I'm still obviously figuring it out. And
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
once I figure it out, I can maybe present to them like, look, okay, can I please come off my line at some stage and just get stuck in? Like, it's
Yeah,
beside
like
me
I
now.
mean, if you like, you can prescribe, I'm sure, things till the cows come home. But if you're, God, you've played a million rugby matches, you can see if somebody's fucking dithering, you know what I mean? Or you're going, I could fucking there's a gap coming there. I can see it over and over again. Let me in and I'll go
Mm,
for it. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
So to give you a bit
yeah,
of a license to have 3 or 4 tasty breaks where you
yeah.
break the gain line, you put everybody on their heels and
Yeah. The difficult thing is that a lot of teams we come up against aren't at the same
aren't
level
as
as
good
our
as
team.
me.
Aren't as good as Stade Rochelet because Stade Rochelet finished top of the league and they won most of it. So not everyone, like, there are definitely some challenging matches, but they're better than, or we are. I'm saying they, as in the girls on my team, are better than some of the other teams we play. So you'd set up a structure and you'd be waiting, but then their defense will just miss a tackle.
All right.
So we just break the line and you're just there like, oh, okay. Now that doesn't happen all the time, but it is one of the things like that means you don't have to go wide, which is where I am. So you can just run through, which means that
Okay.
the ball will never get wide. So
Any chance of playing first centre then? Do you know what I mean? Just get in there. Get in amongst
yeah,
it. Do you
yeah,
know?
yeah,
Just shove out there
yeah,
to fuck with you. The only thing
yeah.
I will say is that it's going to preserve your body.
100%. I'm not complaining about that
You'd be
either.
fit as
Like,
a flea, like from running around outside, like, but you'd be
yeah, I
you'd
hope
be in
so.
immaculate condition come the end of the season.
Yeah, my foot's still fucked though. Like, I don't know what to do about that. Um, I'm doing as much as I can, like on the bike, and as little as possible on my feet because impact on my foot is bad.
Yeah, it didn't
So
didn't help that you were running around South Africa either.
no, it didn't.
No.
No, but I had a week of anti-inflammatories, and it actually helped for the week. But I don't obviously want to take them all the time or
Mm.
rely on them. So when I'm not taking those, I'm in pain.
Oh
So
shite.
which is annoying. But it just needs a bit more time, or I need to find a philosopher's stone or some kind of.
We'll get you on the
Do
CBD.
you know what
You get
do
a
you know the
CBD.
word for magic wand is in
No,
French? Was I telling you
from
this?
from Magic Wand.
Yeah,
Go on.
baguette magique.
Well, if we learn nothing this week, people, baguette magique. I love that. So sounds like fucking makey uppy French, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Baguette magique. I fucking
Où
love.
est mon baguette magique?
I love how sometimes things sound exactly like you imagine they would. So, because we tried to teach the little fella Irish before he starts learning Irish, so that because at that age he's picking up now French, no problem. He's picking up Irish, no problem.
Yeah.
Like and enunciating it correctly too. So you're like, well, this is the time to do it. But he was asking, he's like, what's a crocodile? I'm like going through my Rolodex in my head and went, oh, it's one of my favorite words in Irish, cruggle, cruggle. I fuck,
Oh, yeah.
I loved it. I said, now what's a Tyrannosaurus Rex? I said, it's fucking on Tyrannosaurus Rex is what it is, and that's where it's staying. I don't think there's a.
Good. What a great question. I need to look that up.
I bet it's just on Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Potential.
Well, we could just look for. Uh, was it evil lizard? Is what it actually means in like Greek or something like that, or demonic lizard?
Really?
Yeah, it's not great. It's not great when you actually strip it back and go looking to see where like some of them are pure lazy. Like some of them are like the Mallosaurus because they literally found it in Mallow. Like do you know what I mean? They have been lazy with some of them.
Unreal.
Yeah,
I I've never heard of the Allosaurus.
it's she's an old one. She's an old one. All right.
Class. How
Yeah.
didn't I hear of that?
I don't
He's
know.
like the white deer. Do you know the white deer in Mallow?
Yes. Yeah. Even I've heard of the white deer in Mallow. Does it
Yeah.
still exist?
Yeah, yeah, as I heard of white deer. They're very rare. There's like it's like the only herd in Europe, even though they kind of donated half of the herd to a place in Tyrone, apparently. So now there's two herds in Europe. But it's it was given as a gift to the people in Mallow Castle by like Queen Elizabeth I.
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, the deer here aren't meant to be here at all. We had like a completely different breed of things, but they were hunted out. Well, they say they were hunted out, but there'd be arguments that the youngest dryas period actually fucking finished them off 11,500 years ago. But anyway, we won't get into it. But there was a giant stag head found right up beside where we're building the house, and this thing would have stood, basically would have been able to more or less look in the top window of a 2-story house. That's how big this motherfucker. Yeah, like crazy size, like crazy size. Its
Yeah.
antlers were about antlers were something lunatic, like this tip to tip they went 3 meters or something, like utterly terrifying. If you found one of these things, it would just be this demonic fucking giant yoke walking
I
around the
don't think
place.
you'd find it. I think it would find you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, you ain't stopping it. You're not, you ain't putting up a wire fence to stop that fucking thing. But
Jeez. Just a bit of chicken wire, be grand.
I know, I know. Right? Let's get your prediction for the weekend on. Well, we hope that the Irish teams can do it, except Leinster. Only it's not that we've in again Leinster, but let's be honest, your team now are playing them. Do you think, God, that'd be demoralising enough? Wouldn't it? The last game they played in the Champions League, Champions Cup, the
I
last.
think well, both teams will be nervous.
Right, right.
I reckon. Um, I actually, but I can't call it because also personally I haven't been watching enough of Leinster play, so and as well Stade Rochelet haven't been playing their full team. Like if it's Stade Rochelet playing as they kind of played in the second half of last week's game, I would say Stade Rochelet. But I don't know Leinster enough, but I'm hoping for. Sorry, Leinster. I'm hoping for a Stade Rochelet win because I want to be on the port.
Yeah, yeah. You want to be on the
Yeah,
port.
so and also it's my club now, so I
Yeah.
don't apologize that much.
No,
So
you
and
can't really. I would,
yeah.
I would say like Leinster are still always going to be class. They have unbelievable players, but they're floating back and forth. They don't know if they want to start Kieran Frawley. They don't because
Mm,
and or Harry Byrne because the the other Byrne brother. Don't know why I can. What's his name?
Ross.
Ross bust his arm trying to tackle Craig Casey and went off 7 minutes in. They
Oh
put
shit.
Frawley in, who looked good. He looked good, but he was being
Yes.
outshone by Jack Crowley. But the next thing they put Harry Byrne in, and it's like, okay, he's decent, but he ain't gonna win no European Cup for you. He isn't like he's just and it's hard to compare anybody to Johnny Sexton, but you kind of
Mm,
need somebody tasty at, and you need somebody very physical, which Frawley is. Frawley's strong, but Harry
yeah.
Byrne. If anybody wants to go back and look at the URC semi-final highlights from last year, 72, 73, 74 minutes in. Just watch when Jack Crowley catches in the backfield and where he could have chipped it himself, he could have passed it. He lined up his opposite number and it looked like something from Wigan days against Hull. How he just took the ball and absolutely flattened poor old Harry Byrne. Like it looked sore as shit.
Yeah.
But it was laying down a marker. It was like, no, you're not having this. You're not fucking
Yeah.
having it. And I don't think he would have done that to Frawley. But
Mm,
if they both go full noise, I still see it. It's on, and is it on? Where's it on? Is it on
De Flandre, yeah, in La Rochelle.
De Flandre? What's De Flandre?
Stade Marcel de Flandre.
Oh Jesus Christ! You said that. How's your French, anyway? Is it coming on leaps and bounds? I suppose.
Ça va, yeah. Yeah, it's grand. Yeah, it's getting there. I
Good.
actually there was two Canadian girls playing for the Toulouse team we played last week, and could hear them on the pitch, and could hear the other French girls speaking English to them. And I spoke to them after the game, and they were. I was asking them how's their French, and they were like, "Oh, it's not great." Like, and I was like, "It's because there's two of you. You
Right.
need to
Yeah.
stop
Yeah.
talking to each other." Because so I was like, that's why my French is so good because and it has like to be fair, like I didn't speak French at all really before coming here. Now it's I can have conversations, like I can speak to people and do things. So
Well, it's shit or
uh,
bust, isn't it? You have to, or you don't talk to
we
anybody.
have to, and I made
Yeah.
sure, and I said that to the girls, like I made sure, and I felt bad about it, like that I said to the girls in the club, like, please don't speak to me in English. Like, I know you're trying to be nice, I know you're trying to practice your English, but I'm here to learn French. So, I just fucking, I get one lesson a week from the club, and yeah, it's good. Yeah.
Nice, nice. Well, look at,
Ouais.
we're we're hopeful for a La Rochelle purely because Anna actually plays for La Rochelle, so we're hoping for them at the weekend. I don't know who Connacht and Ulster have, but I hope Mac Hansen scores a
Oh
bunch
no,
of tries.
make a little calendar for the weekend now.
I actually, yeah, I normally download the Champions Cup calendar thing and it goes straight into your phone. It's great. It's great.
Yes, yes, yes.
Um, so I will actually do that this evening. If you're around next week, we'll try and get and we will have to do a how to rugby. We owe them one more. We owe them one more, I think. I'm
Yes.
not sure what we've done. Better check the two
Yeah.
that we've done. We do owe them one more, but we'll if you're around next week, let's do it again.
Oui, oui, bien
Oui,
sûr.
oui. Ihawa.
Turara.
It's the Banana and Bear